We're back with another Senior Spotlight today with our boys wrestling team, Logan Pecor and Liam Kay here, guys. Thanks for joining us. Liam, I want to start with you and the big achievement, 100 wins. What did that moment mean to you when it was your the big win?
It meant a lot. My first ever varsity win was in 8th grade, and when I started, I really loved the sport, but I never really thought I'd get anything out of it because I was just really bad at wrestling. But I wrestled every off season since then. I basically just wrestled every year for the past 4 or 5 years, and I'm really proud of how hard I've worked and where I am now.
So you remember that first win vividly. Could you just describe a little bit more for us about that big first win?
Well, yeah, it was in 8th grade. I was JV that year, but the varsity guy my weight was sick, so I got to have the chance to wrestle varsity, and definitely wasn't the prettiest match, and the other kid was also pretty inexperienced, but I remember everyone being so happy for me, and really, yeah, that first win means as much to me as that 100th.
Did you find the first one or the 100th one to be the harder match?
Definitely the first one. That wasn't pretty. Definitely did not wrestle very well, but definitely, yeah, felt good.
Logan, wrestling, I don't think people understand how tough of a grind this is for you guys. I would say it's one of the toughest sports, both mentally and physically. What keeps you going, and bring us back to what got you into the sport?
Honestly, I got into the sport in probably 6th grade because I saw an older friend of mine's wrestling highlights, and ever since then I wanted to join the team. But the only thing that keeps me going is I just want to win one more match every time I go and step out onto the mat, because I never know when it's going to be my last win. And I want to work as hard as I can in the sport, and I want to get as much as I can out of it, whether that's discipline or I can become more experienced and maybe wrestle in the future. But I really did love the sport, and it's sad that it's coming to an end soon.
Describe to us what a normal week looks for you guys from practice to tournament, and maybe as well, just tell us what has this season been like for you guys, and what does it entail for the rest of the season?
Well, this season we have a new head coach, so we changed up our practice style a little bit. We always stick with some running in the beginning of practice, and we step into drilling, and then after that it's live wrestling on the mat. And even if you're a beginner, you can go with another beginner, or sometimes a more experienced guy will want to wrestle with you. But with this week, heading up into sectionals, we want to wrestle as hard and as much as we can, so we can do as best as we can in the upcoming tournament.
Yeah, that of course paves the way, as you guys were saying before, for the future of the season, and hopefully to compete in some higher level. Liam, and I'm going to ask this to both of you, but I remember, of course, hearing from you about stories of the prep that goes up to some of these meets, and it's been maybe not just high school, but in the other versions that you play, and some of the things you have to do in preparation, and whether that be not eating as much or whatever to make your weight. So can you just tell us about that side of the game, and really how much goes into a weekend preparation?
Yeah, weight cutting, it's not always the best. Most I've ever done in the span of 2 days, probably 12, 13 pounds, and it's just really, it's bad for your body, and I don't recommend it. But sometimes it has sometimes the way the team is, guys at the same weights, you may have to go different weights so they don't overlap. And at the start of the season, I was at a higher weight class, and I wasn't really cutting that much, and then I made the decision to move to a lower weight class where I have to cut a lot of weight. For yesterday, I was 8.5 pounds over for this tournament on Saturday.
Yeah.
And sometimes I question why I moved down a weight class, but it's just really for better opportunities too. You most likely will win more at a lower weight if you're not overcutting. But yeah, so practice, you're just trying to lose a lot of weight. Sometimes you're wearing multiple layers of clothing, just try to sweat it out, mostly the day or two before. And then, yeah, just make sure you're fueled the first few days so you actually have the weight to lose. If you start cutting at the start of the week, then you're just going to be dead the whole week, and it's really not helping you.
Logan, what do you think that younger wrestlers who are maybe aspiring to be in the role you guys are, because varsity athletics for wrestling is a huge portion of the game, what do you think that they should know that they might not about the sport?
Wrestling is one of those sports where there's not a lot of talent, and it really comes down to who works harder in the wrestling room. And to people who want to really get better at the sport, it all comes down to wrestling in the off season and wrestling all year. And you can't expect to get good at wrestling in like a week or so. There's nothing that clicks. It's really just the amount of grind and effort that you put into the sport. You'll get back out of it.
Logan, I'll go to you to start with this one, and then Liam, I want you to piggyback on this. Obviously, this program's had quite a bit of success over the last few years. We've talked about it here, and I want to know, what have you learned from some of the other successful wrestlers that you've worked with through the program?
Watching wrestlers like Sawyer be part of the team, the biggest thing I learned from him was that if you really want to get better, you really have to work to get it. And the only way to get better is to put all of your time and effort into wrestling, and really focus on putting as much effort as you can into the sport.
I've had the opportunity for last season, my drill partner was Sawyer, who's the best wrestler to come out of here. And then the year before that, I was with Justin Kelly, who was also one of the best wrestlers to come out of here. And Justin helped me get better technique-wise, but drilling Sawyer last year, he really showed me how to work hard. And by the time that we were drill partners, I got to the point where I'd known my skills were more refined, but I wasn't working as hard as I should have been. And he, like Logan said, showed how to work hard, and just really helped me get better.
Just a couple more here, guys. You guys had your senior night a couple Wednesdays ago, and you guys were, of course, celebrated for your support to the program. Have you seen your role change this year as a senior versus in the past?
I would say a lot more younger guys on our team are asking for help on moves. Maybe in a couple years before, they wouldn't ask for help, and maybe I'd see them in practice struggling. I'd go up to help them. But now they're actually coming up to you and asking for help, and I think just the seniority on the team and gives us some respect from the other guys.
Well, do you see any change this year?
Well, this year, Liam was already a captain last year, but I became a captain as well, and I've really been trying to become a good leader and pave a strong path for the younger wrestlers to walk on. And I really the only thing I want is I want all the younger kids on the team to be better than I was in their future wrestling.
That's great. Before I get the last question, Liam, I want to give you the opportunity here to talk about that commitment that we all saw come across us the other day. You're going to go wrestle for Springfield College, and that's obviously a major accomplishment for you. What went into that process? I think that's something that many people want to know, and how did it feel to know that you're going to continue?
Well, Springfield wasn't actually one of the first schools I was looking at. Years back, I was looking at some of the colleges in New England, and I kind of thrown Springfield College aside. I thought I was never going to go there, but I wanted to go to one of the D3 schools and wrestle for them, one of the D3 schools in New England. And at one point last year, the Springfield coach came to one of our meets to watch Sawyer. And Sawyer, after he left, Sawyer talked to me about Springfield and how it's actually the number one D3 school that he had in mind if he weren't to go D1.
Yeah.
So I actually started doing some research on the school, and I was actually became very fascinated with it. The wrestling program is, right now, it might be the best D3 in New England. They just beat national champs from last year. And their academics are great also. So for me, really, after doing all the research and all the schools, Springfield was the no-brainer. I'm really happy to wrestle there next year.
So Logan, I've asked this to every group, and I want to keep it going in the winter, and you guys kind of touched about this, but obviously you guys we're all going to be moving on next year, but the program's going to continue to stay in place here at Shepherd Hill. What's something that you hope that the younger students and athletes that are here now take and that continues to move forward through the next generations?
I hope that the younger athletes, I hope they keep pushing the pace that they have been going in practice, and I hope they keep working as hard as they have been. I hope that in the upcoming years, things don't start to slack off a bit, and the coaches are still hard on their wrestlers about whatever they're doing wrong, and
Lim?
Yeah, I am excited to watch how the future unfolds for the team. I would say the best wrestler on the team right now is a junior. He goes to Tantascwa, Trevor Blair, and I know by the time next year he could be one of the best in maybe New England. So I'm excited to see how he wrestles next year, and I know I'm going to be coming back to watch and support the team.
Well, congratulations to both of you on a great season. Good luck for the rest of the season, and thanks so much for talking to us.